Is up. Okay, so welcome to the video where we're going to show you how to install your WordPress Blueprint, and that's going to help you sell your products on autopilot. Okay, so if you're seeing this page, just put in your email here and we'll send you over the blueprint, and if you don't have it already. And you might see a download button here because according to what's easier for you guys, I'll either send instructions through email or probably just write them out here and you can download it directly from here. So depending on what you see, either put in your email address or click the download button. Okay, so you should get the blueprint, and then once you get the blueprint, what you need to do is install a program called Local by Flywheel. Just click on download local. It's free, and once you install this program, you will be able to run the blueprint on your computer for free. So download the program, install it, and if you have any problems, you please contact their support. They'll definitely help you out. And yeah, so have that program running. I want to show you now the blueprint if you don't know what we're talking about, but if you asked for it, you probably do. I'm going to open in a window in incognito mode and just visit demo.5kclients.com. It's going to ask you for credentials to view it. It's pretty simple. 5K Clients is the username and Blueprint is the password. So sign in. Let's take a look. So this is basically your super seller page. This is the only thing you need to start selling your services on autopilot. And the idea is to write a kick-ass copy seller page and have an optimized checkout that enables you to sell without too much hassle. You see, as soon as I click the button, the visitor was ready to pay in any way they wanted. And so let's just so this is your website, the blueprint. It's basically ready for you to start selling. All you have to do is put in your stuff here, and now put in the copy, the information that regards your service. And I made a tutorial on that. In this tutorial, what we're going to do is we're going to install the blueprint on your computer. So let's go ahead and do that. So if you've downloaded the blueprint on your computer, you have the files. Install Local by Flywheel, and what you can do here is, this program is awesome because you can basically set up a WordPress site on your computer by saying add new site. But what we're going to do here is we're going to import our Blueprinterino, and find the file, import it. It's going to ask you the name of the site. We're going to call it, you can call it anything you want, so you could call it SEO domination or something like that. Whatever your site name is, whatever services you're trying to sell, try to use a name like the keyword is SEO and then some hype name next to it. So as long as you have the name of your service in the site name, that's probably good. This is just a little tip in creating a service that's going to be easy for people to find and understand. Since this is just a test site on my local machine, I'm going to call it test 3. If you click on advanced options, it shows you what's the address you can access it at and the folder in which the files are going to be saved. You only need to know this if you're going to go in and modify the files and the code, and if you're a developer. Otherwise, you do not need to know this stuff. Okay, so just write in the site name and say continue. You might or might not see this setup page. If you do, just click on preferred because it's going to give you the default installation setup. So click on preferred and say import site. So this shouldn't take too long, and because the blueprint is really a bare bones thing that has what you need to get started. Everything is free in there. You don't have to pay anything for it. You probably have to only pay for hosting. But you might not even have to pay for hosting. I'll show you how. Okay, so let this thing load and just give it a bit of time. It's asking me for administration privileges. Give it to them. Make sure you log into the computer with administrative privileges, otherwise you won't be able to do this. And I should have disconnected here. Yeah, you don't need to do this because you probably won't be connected at all if it's the first time installing. So we're basically creating the blueprint on your local computer, and we're going to be able to preview it in just a minute. It's going to look like this, and almost done, guys. Give it a second. Remember, this is running on my local computer. It does take a bit of time. Okay, there it is. Didn't take that long. So the site is up basically, and let's view it. Okay, so if you want to view the site, just click on View. It should open your browser. If it doesn't open a browser, and click that button again. So it's basically viewing the site on your machine. This is not a real HTTPS address. This is an address on your local machine. And there you go. You've got the blueprint on your computer. That's pretty easy, huh? Now I'm going to show you how to set it up, okay? So go back to your local by Flywheel program, click on admin, and now I'm not sure if I set this up already. You will log in with an account called temp, and the password is 123123123. Log in, let me see if it works. Okay, it doesn't, but you will log in with that account, okay? Make sure you log in with that account. I'm going to log in with the current client admin account, which basically allows me to log into your site in case you need help with it, okay? So if I'm not wrong, it should be... Okay, so I logged in through the client admin, and what I'm going to do is I am going to show you, yeah, save that. I'm going to show you, so what you did was you logged in with the temp account. You have to go to users, and you either create a new account for yourself and give it your own password, or you edit this one and make it yours. The only problem is you won't be able to change the username for this. And I also advise you to leave this in, because if you need any help with it, all you have to do is tell me the URL of your website and I can log in and help you do whatever it is that you need. But if you don't want us having access to your site at all, you can go in and delete it. So you would probably see here delete on client admin, and then go ahead and create a new user for yourself. In case you want to change client admin for you want to use client admin for yourself, just go to edit and scroll down. You won't be able to change the username, so if you don't like it, you will have to create a new account. Just go to click on new or user, add new over here, and change the nickname if you want, change this if you want, change the email. You will have to confirm the new email address, change the password, so you put in your own password, and then go all the way down, change the email address again here, and then say update profile, okay? Remember to say update profile, otherwise it won't save your changes. Once you've done that, the next thing to do is go into settings. Yes, leave because I have not saved my changes. And I'm going fast because I want to show you that we can set up the blueprint in under an hour. So change your site name to whatever you had put in the beginning. So it could be SEO, domination, add a tagline. It could be SEO to rule them all, whatever it is. Do not change this. WordPress will take care of this, so you don't have to change this. You do have to change the email. As always, you will have to confirm the new email address and set in your time zone and update the date and time format, and then save changes as always, okay? Now, once we have done that, what we have to do is decide what our service is. So click on products. This is where the products you're able to sell are saved. So we have set up web design. Click on the web design, and I'm going to show you how to change it for whatever it is you're doing. So I made a little checklist here for you to follow, but you can also use this video to create new products. So give the product a name. We're going to say it's called SEO. We're going to update the product URL and say this is SEO. Say OK. All right, go down and make sure it says variable product. Do not change that. And now we have to set the prices for those 3 packages we were viewing over here. So basically, we're going to be saying SEO, selling SEO services at 3 different tiers. And the only thing that's going to change is one aspect of the service. So it's going to be the same service, and the only thing that's going to change is one aspect, and that aspect is going to determine the price. And the reason you do this is because you don't want the visitor to get confused and then have to think about what they need most. You want to make it as easy as possible for them to buy. So create a product that you can deliver in the least time possible, or you can delegate to someone else and offer it at a price that's a ridiculous price that no one can refuse, so that you start getting these clients through the door. And the next step would be obviously to upsell them, to get in contact with them, understand their business, and upsell them on extra services, custom services that get paid a lot more. But the awesome thing is you will be talking with people that have already paid you. You won't be talking to people that are complete strangers, okay? So let's go ahead and set this up. So let's go back to products. We were updating this page. Go down here, attributes, and you know how there were 3 packages. This is where you set. This is where you change them. So you click here, and let's say that in my case, I was offering different types of revisions for each package. The product was exactly the same, but I was changing the revisions. Now, maybe in your case, you will be offering 1 month SEO services or three months SEO services or 6 months. I have no idea. You know what this is. Keep it to 3. Don't choose more than 3. Don't choose less than 3. This is the number that converts the most. Make sure both of these are checked. Say save attributes. Let that save. Now go to variations and let's choose our packages. Tell the system which are the packages we're offering. So the default package is probably going to be 1 month, and the low tier package is going to be 1 month, middle 3 months, and the higher one 6 months. Now you've chosen the packages. Now you have to choose the pricing. So to do that, just click on this button that you see, and it should drop down the menu. Make sure it's enabled. If you want to give the product an image, do it here. You don't need it for the superseller page. As you saw, there are no images of the product. You don't need them theoretically, as the way we have set it up. But you do need to say it is virtual or not. Virtual means there is no shipping. It's a service. So make sure that is ticked if there is no shipping. Give it a regular price and then give it a sale price, because this is a psychological trigger that will help the person buy the product because it's at a sale price. Now, to tell you the truth, like I sell websites. The cheapest websites I sell will be at 600 with no revisions. I'm selling them right now at 300 because I want to get the service going and I'm testing it out. So I'm selling it at 300, and that will make up for any errors and any bad experiences that the client could experience. So that's basically what you should be thinking about. So this is not really a fake price. When I'm overloaded, I will probably take out the sale price and leave it at regular price. So you should do that. Another thing that you want that's pretty cool here is if you click downloadable, when someone buys this package, you can send them over files as soon as they buy them, and they can download them. So you can send them an ebook, an audio file, a video, a PDF, whatever you think needs to be included in this package. So I'm going to go ahead and update this because the price that's shown on my seller page is actually $297. So make sure these two are the same and say save changes. Once you've said save changes, do the same with the other packages, update their prices here, save changes, and once you're done, say update. Okay, so we've got our products all set up. Now we have to go to our funnel and set that up. So to edit your home page, the seller page that helps you sell it, you're going to go to Cart Flows, Super Seller Funnel, Edit. And this is your landing page, and these are the 3 checkout pages for each offer. Each offer has its own checkout page because that makes it super easy for the client to buy. So there is no adding to cart, there is no extra stuff that will create friction in the buying process. So let's go ahead and edit our seller page. Okay, here it is. Now the seller page, I call it Super Seller, and you can change it to whatever you want. You can even change the permalink, but either way, the home page is set to this, so you don't have to worry about that. Now, what we're going to do is say edit with Elementor, so we can edit the page and let that load for a second. Let's see if we can do this under an hour, so the video doesn't take too long for you guys. Okay, it's loading. Make sure it loads completely. Don't cut it off, otherwise you'll lose pieces. Okay, so this is your super seller page. I made a tutorial on how to edit it, but it's pretty simple. Just click on the block and then change the text here. Click on the block, change the text here, choose other options here. You can set it center, whatever you want. You can move columns, see that, do whatever you want. But I made a tutorial for that, and we're not going to do that here. What we are going to do is set up the mechanism that sells your product easily. So this is your pricing area. Make sure that the price here is the same as the price you set up on the product area, and make sure that the currency is the same. So in our case, we want to put dollars. Just go over here, make sure that the cursor is in the exact position as you see. Delete the sign and put in a dollar sign. There you go. And unfortunately, this is not dynamic because you are using the free version. I wanted to give you a blueprint where you do not have to pay for anything to do this. There are things that automate this, but as I said, I am giving you the free version so you can get started at no cost at all. The next thing we're going to do is click on the buy button, and as you see, every button has a link it directs to. You're going to copy this to your clipboard, and now you're going to go back to your copy it to your clipboard, click this icon here, say exit to dashboard. Wait, cancel, update. If you made any changes, save it, and then say exit to dashboard. Okay, so you're back in your superseller landing page. We want to go back to the flow. Cart Flows calls it a flow, but it's actually a funnel. And the link was for the first offer. So say edit. And you just have to make sure that when you click here, the link of the button is the same as this. Now I set it up to be the same, so you basically do not have to change this, but I want to make sure that you understand it so you do not have problems, okay? Now you do not have to check out. You do not have to modify this at all. Do not click Edit Elementor if you don't need to. I mean, it's all set up. All you have to do is choose the product here. Now, as you saw, we changed the product and it updated here. So that's pretty cool. You do not have to do anything. This thing is all set up, perfect, ready for you to rock and roll. Go back to Edit Flow. The only thing that you might have to change is your thank you page. Now the thank you page is going to show the purchase details once the person buys it. And unfortunately, I do not have an example of that, but once you click on, let's see if it happens. I mean, let's say buy now. I'll show you right here what you see. Okay. So yeah, SEO 1 month times 1. It says PayPal. Let's see what's going to happen here. Click. Yeah, I'm going to have to go through the whole checkout process. I'm going to close this. And I show you how to set up your PayPal account on another tutorial. Because I did that in another tutorial because your main objective in this one is to have the seller page set up. So you still have to go to the seller page and add all the copy, the content that is related to your offer. What I wanted to show you here is, since we're on a thank you page, I want to show you that you can add a form that will take care of the onboarding process. So once the person buys a service, you will add a form here asking them, so yeah, click here to reload. I'll explain to you something right now. And this block right here is responsible for displaying the order details. Make sure it says cart flows underscore order underscore details. This should remain there. If you want to add something else, just go to plus, add structure, and then you just add a block. Add a block here. If you want to add, oh, here it is. I'm sorry. Here it is. So this is the structure you added. Click on this. And you have to install a form block, which we do not have at the moment, unfortunately. But it's really easy. Go to your plugin page, write out form, and just download any form, and it'll be any form plugin, and it'll be available here. And let's say that this is the form plugin. Just pull it and save it here, and then click on the block, and then add the form, edit the form. And the idea of having a form here is that once the client buys something, you ask them to put in all the information you need to start the fulfillment process. This is basically the onboarding, client onboarding, a little bit of automation for client onboarding. Now, what most people do is they ask for this information before the client buys, and that's the problem. You need to ask the person after the client buys, and so that once they buy, they put in their information, and you're dealing with someone that has already paid you. And so yeah, do that, say update. I'm not going to update that. I'm just going to delete this section. We don't need it. And once that is done, let's go back to our site. So this thing is basically running on your computer, right? And if we click on visit site, this is it. This is your site. And if you want to edit it, say edit with Elementor, or do it as I showed you before. This is basically the super seller funnel page that you were editing before. And if you want to know how to edit with Elementor, I made a tutorial on that. Just go to 5factclients.com/start, and you'll see the tutorial on how to do that. And so we have this on our website. We've edited our seller page. We've put in the information we need to. So you have to change everything here. Put an awesome headline. Help your visitors understand why they need to buy from you. Create your offer. Explain to them what the process is going to be like. And create your offer. Set your prices. Add some testimonials. Offer a money-back guarantee, because this is a game changer. Everybody does it. If I'm not sure that I'm going to like the product, at least I know that if I don't like it, I have a money back guarantee. And so there is no risk for me to buy a product here. Add any frequently asked questions, so any doubt that the person viewing this could have, address it on this section. Then add some team member pictures, so they know they're dealing with people that that are real people. Okay, so basically your website is ready, and you want to push it online. So what you do is you go to go to your dashboard and use our link. Here it is. Okay, it's going to ask you if you want to use our affiliate link, and of course you do, because we like printing money out of thin air, because that's basically what it is. But if you don't want to give us anything, it doesn't matter. You just click cancel and it'll take you to the website. It says pop-up blocked, but usually it works. If it says pop-up blocked, just click on pop-up blocked and click on the link and it'll take you there. Or just go to Flywheel on Google, search for it and create an account. Now you're gonna have to create an account here because I'm showing you basically the easiest way to push your site live. Okay, so go to test, go back to your local by Flywheel program, and now if you've created your account, you can click to connect to Flywheel. It's going to take you to this page if you created your account. If you didn't, then you're going to have to create an account. These steps won't work if you did not create it. So log in. I'm logging into my agency page. Have to wait a few seconds, and a pop-up is going to take you back to your Flywheel page. Now you see it's connected. All you have to do is say push to Flywheel. And where should we push your site? You have to go down, and since we don't have a site, oh man, it's going to say create new site. Okay, so I forgot to delete the demo site. 101 used, so I don't have any more demo sites available. I'm going to delete the one that I used to test this idea. So we're going to go here and say delete demo site. Okay, so we're deleting the site, and let's go back to our local by Flywheel. So this is the website, this is the blueprint you imported. When you click on push to Flywheel and you open this menu, you won't see anything here because you do not have any sites. I see them because these are the sites we're currently working on. You're only going to see this button called create new site. So you're going to click on that and it's going to take you to create new site, and you're going to be able to create a demo site for free without paying anything. And it's going to be free for 14 days, and I'm going to show you something awesome in a bit, basically. So let's say your site was called SEO Domination, and let's give this a name, SEO Domination, as a temporary domain, okay? Select your data center. If your target market is in Europe, choose Europe, otherwise wherever it is. Now create a WordPress admin username. This is not important because we're basically going to push the blueprint to take the place of this website that we're creating at the moment. So it's not important. I will proceed to just say client admin 123 123 123 123 123 123. Create demo site. Now this thing is being loaded up. Now, why am I telling you to use Flywheel? I mean, if you're not expert at web, you do not want to have to deal with all this site stuff. Flywheel is awesome because, first of all, you can work on a site on your local machine through this program. Okay, so maybe your client asked you, "Hey, man, do you know how to do websites? You know how to work with WordPress, you're all good to go." Because what you do is download this program, create your new site, and once it's loaded, just like this, you can do something. You have this little function here called Live Link Enable. Now let's go and click it. And it enables this link that you can share with your client. Once you've finished working with WordPress, you added all the pages you needed to add, you added the content, the images. You click on this link, and this link is viewable all over the world. But actually, the site is on your computer. It's not in hosting yet. So let's see what they see once the site once you create this link. Now remember that once your computer is turned off, this link is not available anymore. This is a temporary link for previewing the site. And so you do not need to know anything about servers and all that type of stuff, because as you see, we're viewing the blueprint that's hosted on our computer on internet. So you just have to give the client this address and they'll see your work. Okay? So that's one thing I want to talk about. So let's say, let's go back to our SEO domination demo site that we loaded. So we created a demo site on internet, and what we want to do now is we want to push our local blueprint or website that we were working on to this. Why do we want to do that? Because an awesome thing that you can do, if the client viewed the preview and said, yeah man, this looks good, how can I pay you? You just set up billing for hosting. You said set up billing. Who will own the subscription? Someone else, my client or collaborator. You just put in their email address and tell the client, hey man, you have different options. You can choose a tiny monthly plan, and you're good to go. Just write it down here, whatever you want, and they pay for billing. So you basically do not have to pay for hosting if you don't want to, and you do not have to know anything about hosting or servers or anything about that. So that's just something awesome I want to talk to you guys about. Okay, so what happened? So we said push the site to Flywheel, but we have not actually pushed it yet because the site was not there. You had to create it first. So now we're actually going to go to push it. So once the website is ready, you should see this screen. Go back to local sites, go to your blueprint, click this again, and now you should see the website you just created, which is this. So click on SEO domination, make sure this is not checked, and say push to Flywheel. This is basically going to replace this temporary website that was set up in like 1 minute with the work you have done on your local computer. So basically the client said, yeah, I'm happy with the work. They saw your preview link. You go into Flywheel, create a temporary website, and you push the website you were working on to that temporary website. Let's see what happens. Having a sip of water here, guys, because I am a developer. I'm not used to talking. Okay, site pushed. Your site is processing on Flywheel. So we've pushed the site, but it takes some time for it to update. So what we're going to do is, okay, so as you see, it asks me for some credentials to log in. That's because when the site is in demo mode, it has credentials. Now, a cool thing you can do for branding purposes is, let's say your site was called, your branding is called SEO domination. And the password, we can call it blueprint. Okay, say change, and let's close this page. And these are the credentials you're going to give your client to preview it. So SEO domination, blueprint, sign in. There you go. This is the site. Now this is the site. This is a temporary website that was created. This is going to get replaced by this one that you pushed. So Flywheel is still processing it. You pushed it online, but Flywheel is still processing it and still on the process of updating this. This is still the old website. So go back to your Flywheel dashboard, go to advanced. Let's hope this doesn't take too long. I don't want it to take too long for this to work. Say flush cache, because sometimes that could be the problem. Flushing cache. Go to SEO, reload again. Okay, see, it says, if you see this page, is because Flywheel is still setting up your website. It usually doesn't take very long, okay? Let's close this. And either way, guys, I mean, I think this is awesome because you do not need any server skills, any website skills. This takes care of everything. And even the billing is passed on to the client for hosting. And so basically, you can get paid for setting up a website. And then if the client does not want to pay for hosting on Flywheel, you can just create a backup of the website. And if you do not see here any backups, just add a backup, give it a description, hand off to client, create the backup, and then once it's done, you just click on this button and say download a copy, and then you can send it to the client, or you can obviously pass on the billing to them if they decide to pay for billing. So it's really streamlined. And another cool thing is, let's say that this is your, the default setup of your website. You can create a blueprint of the website, and then let's say standard WordPress install. You create a blueprint, and then every time you want to make a website, you just use the blueprint to make a website. You can even do it on your local machine. So you go here and say save as blueprint, and every time you want to start up a website, you do not have to set it up every time the same way with the same plugins. You can just create a new website from a blueprint. So let's say I say save as blueprint, blueprint name, yep, save. Probably might take a bit. And then when you start a website, when you want to make a new website, say add new site, and you can choose a blueprint from which to start from. See that? It's pretty awesome. Okay, so okay, so that's creating a blueprint. What we wanted to do was see how long it takes for the push you made to go live. Okay, so it didn't take that long. This is the temporary domain at which the site is available. So now you can turn off your computer and a version of the website will be available. The client can preview it, and if you want, you go to dashboard and click on your site. And based on if the client wants to pay for Flywheel hosting, you set up the billing and you hand it over to them. So you say setup. I already showed you this. Client, put their email here and hand them billing, or just create a backup, download it, and then give it to them, and then they can upload it wherever they want once they've paid you, obviously, for your work. And that's basically it, guys. I hope that you guys found this useful. This is your blueprint on your local machine. Any questions, please shoot an email over to support@5kclients.com if you have any problems. If you haven't deleted my Access account, I'll be able to come in and help you out, fix anything on the fly. And that's basically it. So hope also send me over any feedback, anything that we can do to improve this blueprint is highly appreciated. Okay? Okay, awesome guys, cheers.